all right. We back with another edition of the Woods Finest Podcast. We appreciate
Yes,
your
sir.
viewership, and we're celebrating a very special edition. We're celebrating Thanksgiving week, so this is a very special time in the neighborhood for the boys. All right, fellas,
It
before
is.
we get started, you only get 5 things to put on your plate for Thanksgiving dinner. What you putting on that plate? Kev, let's start
Oh, I
with you.
mean,
All right, real quick. Is hot sauce considered something that I'm putting on the plate?
no,
Or is that
that's a
considered a
condiment, sir.
condiment?
That's a
Oh, so it's unlimited hot sauce? All right, cool. All
yeah.
right.
All
So
right.
first thing, because I had to get that out of the way because that's number one regardless.
I know it is. I know it is.
All right. So you want me to give in all 5 things? Or,
Let's
all
go.
right,
Yep,
Yeah, let's
mac
let's
and
get it.
go.
cheese, number one. Gotta
Mac
have
and
it.
cheese number one. All
Now
right.
it depends on who makes it, but gotta have it. Turkey, gotta have it. Right?
Okay.
Don't know if you're considering gravy a condiment or not, but that's got to go with it. If I'm fortunate enough, I hope she can hear this, to have seafood casserole around for Thanksgiving,
Okay.
got
All
to
right.
have it. All
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
Then I'm just going with whatever type of bread, type of thing, to soak up the remaining hot sauce and gravy. And I'm calling it a
Okay.
day.
All right. All right. I know you ready. What you got?
So you know I'm ready, son. Okay, so I need my turkey,
Mm-hmm.
my ham, my
Mm.
sweet butter corn,
Mm.
cornbread stuffing,
Mm.
and if you know, and see this one is the fifth one is always the random one because it depends on, as Kev said, where you are, who made what, and what's there. My mom usually makes some potato salad on Thanksgiving, so that would be my number five is that potato salad. And you know, that's
Okay.
just plate number one. We ain't gonna go into two, three, four, five.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It ain't Thanksgiving unless you go back for seconds or
Yeah,
thirds.
there you
You
go.
know. All right. I'm counting mine down in reverse order from my least favorite to the thing that I mean, and they're all favorites, but my
Okay.
least favorite to my favorite. Number 5, Coach,
Okay.
like you said, I gotta have some potato salad on my plate. The coldness of the texture gives it like that, though, to play a little blend to it. Collard greens,
Hmm.
gotta have your vegetable up there. Candy yams, gotta have a little sweetness up there. Baked mac and cheese with the crusty edges. Yeah, that's that. Gotta be on the
Hmm.
plate. And my final thing, the fried turkey. Juicy fried turkey. Kev, if you do it right, you don't need no gravy. You don't need no gravy. But yeah, that's my 5 right there. All right, fellas. Okay, so this is, like I said, we're celebrating Thanksgiving week, and it's been a tough week for some of us out here in the Woods Finest neighborhood. We want to give a
Hmm.
little shout out to my boy, Coach Ray, and give him a little remembrance. And, you know, a lot of people give moments of silence or stuff like that, and I didn't want to do that. So these are 3 things that I feel is the best way to honor him. Number 1 is to have a thankful heart, man. We're all sitting here halfway to 100 years old. That's a blessing. We gotta
Hmm.
really appreciate waking up and having that time because a lot of people just don't get to the age that we are now, as young as we think we are and as young as we feel. Number 2, having a heart for servant leadership. I learned that through my studies in school and all that, and I believe that you gotta be able to help other people and provide that leadership in a lot of different areas, whether it's through churches or religious groups or fraternities. I know, Coach, you're in the Masons. All those
Hmm.
things are great ways to kind of help, you know, other people in the community and just the fellowship. And because I think we all need that right now, that just time to celebrate each other. To, I think me and Coach were talking about the night when you need to get something off your chest. All those things are super important in this day and age. And
Hmm.
if you don't have anybody to share that with, you know, life is just a little bit tougher. And
Yep.
then the third and final thing I'm going to mention is living life boldly. Like I said, when I pass away, I don't want nobody to have no moment of silence for me. I want you to live life out loud. You can make some noise, you can celebrate, you can dance, you can do whatever you need to do, but do it with energy, with vigor, with stamina, with giving it everything that you have, putting that passion into the people that you love and care about. And I think those are three ways I'm going to honor him for the rest of my days. So I appreciate you, Ray. I love you, man. And yeah, man, we're gonna keep this thing going.
Oh
All
wait,
right.
Griff, hold
Yes,
on, man.
yes, yes, brother.
Now,
What you got?
I didn't know your boy that well. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I knew him. I knew Ray. Seen him at for several years at the parties and even outside the Super Bowl party, come over play cards, stuff like that. I just want to say, if I could think of something to explain or say what I feel about Ray is, I would just call him a light. He
Hmm.
was like a beacon. And what
Absolutely.
I mean by that is because he was approachable.
Absolutely.
He would have a conversation with you. And at the end of the day, his heart was in the right place when it came to whatever he was telling me.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that, he will be missed. He
Hmm.
was not only important to you, but he was important to this community. You have seen posts about him on Facebook, on the news. This man made a difference in he was 41, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
41 years he was here. He made a difference. He showed people who he was and made a difference in a lot of people's lives. And that cannot be forgotten. So, I just want to bring that up and say that, if you don't mind, Griff, because I know that's your man. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
want to say, man.
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And he was such a light to the community, especially these kids out here. So,
Hey,
big
real
ups to you,
quick,
Coach.
I never met the
Yes,
guy,
sir.
right? I will say this. I know you, others who have been on the show, knew and had a good relationship with this guy. I'm hearing nothing but positive feedback, from others about this guy. Only way I knew about him was from him being on the show. Everyone I know in my family and friends that have seen the show say, yeah, that seems like a guy that's got his stuff together, right? So I'm just gonna say
Hmm.
that I'm hearing that in the community, just like Cody's saying, and I wish his family nothing but positive blessings and spirits, through this tough time.
Oh,
Yeah,
difficult time.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we talking about bringing the family together. We talking about mending them fences, y'all. It's holiday time. Time to gather with friends and family for fellowship. And we just want to talk about what three things can we do to bridge the gap and bring people together. And we talk about mainly with people that you might be on opposite ends of the spectrum with. You might, you know, they might have burnt your potato salad last year. I don't know. They might have done
Mm.
some,
Burnt
you know.
potato salad. That
Hey,
brother, if you get some burnt potato salad, a lot of things went wrong with the kitchen that day.
hey, it almost feels intentional if they burnt the potato salad. Okay, so we're talking about what three ways we can mend those fences. What can we do to bring people together? I hope we're talking from personal experience today. We will let the people know how to make good with somebody who just might not see eye to eye with us. This time, we'll start with you, Coach. What you got? What are three? What's one way? What's your number one way of bringing people together?
Well, I don't know if it's necessarily bringing people together, but it might be a way to get past whatever your issue is and come together. What I would say is, especially when it's like you said, the example we're using is the holidays,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you have an issue with somebody, especially someone that's close enough to you that you're going to be getting together with them on the holidays and seeing them, probably the best thing you can do is leave whatever that problem is at the door. Don't bring it
Mm,
in with you, right? Because if you don't bring it in with you, you don't discuss it, you just let it be what it is. That's another way or a possibility for the two of you to, while you might not see eye to eye about something, about this one thing, you probably see eye to eye about a lot of other things. And being able to have a conversation outside of whatever the issue is might be able to bring you back together to have the conversation about what you need to conversate about. Understand? Am I making sense? I know I
oh,
sort of went
absolutely.
around, but you know
No,
what
no,
I'm
no.
saying?
I was talking to some. I think I was talking to my mom about that just this week, and I was telling her the same, like just like you said, being able to compartmentalize things that you're
Hmm.
going through. So, like, if me and the wife getting an argument, I don't take it to work with me and take it out on somebody else. It's but not a lot of people are able to do that. You know what I
Do
mean? Like
that.
not
Yeah.
everybody's not everybody like put in the box. If they had a bad day at home, guess what? They bring it to work, and everybody else is gonna know that they had a rough time at home. So that's just a tough one. I agree with you. I think most of us should be able to do that, and I ain't gonna be mad at somebody
Hmm.
who had nothing to do with the situation anyway. I'm not saying I haven't been in a bad mood because of something that has happened somewhere else, but a lot of people just can't compartmentalize. But I do like being able to do that. I think that is one of the ways that we can. Leaving at the door is definitely a key. All right, Kev, what you got? What's your number one way of kind of mending those fences? Somebody you might have be at odds with.
Call them. Don't do the messaging thing. People can ignore messages easily. Now you can ignore calls if you really want to, right? But it's more direct. If they pick up, now you're talking, right? Now, and you're in a conversation. Easier to communicate. People, if they're in their feelings about certain things, they may not really be open to other people's perspective. But if you can at least talk to somebody and it not being messages, you might be able to get your message through to help mend fences, right? And we talk about music nonstop all the time on this show, kind of like Jodeci, right? You want to,
Hmm.
if you're messaging something and somebody is not really trying to feel the message, just be like, don't talk, just listen, right? Boom,
My
kick it.
brother said, "Yeah, you got me ready to put on some Timberlands right now, brother. Put my hat on backwards with a little jean vest with no shirt on, and just turn into KC or JoJo."
Yeah,
This brother said, "Don't talk, just listen.
I don't
It's
know.
been out
I,
since you've been
I
gone."
know. That's hey, look, Coach. That's what I'm hearing. I can't talk to no dude like that, bro. I ain't gonna talk. Don't don't talk. Just listen. I am. I am crying off of that. All right.
Oh, to feel that touch from your hand. Sorry that I hurt you.
Oh my
Go on, break it
God.
down, Kev. Lady, what should I do?
Mm.
We gonna get
All
this.
right.
This episode gonna have no
Keep
views
Jeff
once
in
they hear me
here.
singing. It's
My
gonna be
sled
over. They gonna be like,
dogs.
"Oh, that's the end. Cody
Little
singing. Let's cut
bobsled.
this off right now."
Might be like Jodeci out in the desert somewhere singing that too.
Okay. So my
Baby.
Little
my
dust.
my first one, and bringing people together, is to kindly acknowledge them. So if you are going to actually see them, if they're gonna be at mama's house, if they're gonna be at auntie's house, they're gonna be at grandfather's house. Hey man, how you doing? Give them some dap, give them some love, give them a hug, give them a pound, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the easiest ways to kind of alleviate some of that angst, that anxiety of just being welcoming. Kindly acknowledge them. And if you're not going to be around them, I'll tell you what. Someone that one of my family members who I haven't spoken to in a while sent me a message this week, and I will say it was it was well received. I didn't know who it was because they got their number changed or whatever, and just sent me a really nice message. And I was like, well, who do I have to thank for this great message? And they told me it was, and I said, man, I really appreciate that. That's another way of just squashing angst, beef, tension, whatever you want to call it. Just by checking on somebody, man, how you doing? So all right, let's move on to the second thing that we can do to mend those fences. We're coming back to you. What is your second thing that you can do?
Sit down and talk about it. I know I said leave it out the first time, but sometimes you just gotta confront it. Sometimes, like Kev, like how Kev said, you got to call, right?
Hmm.
Sometimes you got to swallow your pride because pride will have you not talking to somebody for a real long time over something that was probably a real simple conversation.
Yep.
You will find that people will not talk to each other for years and sit down and talk for 5 minutes and everything will be fine.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So sometimes you just have to take it head on and confront it because, at the end of the day, if somebody's important enough to you, you're going to try to at least make the effort. Now, if you make the effort and they don't want to reciprocate, then you did what you can do, and at that point, you got to process and deal with it.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I, be-
sometimes just confront it head on, man. So leave it at the
I
door or
believe
confront it head on right now.
I believe in it. I believe it. And I think both techniques are right. Sometimes you have to table it until another opportunity.
Yeah.
If it may just not be the right time. But once you do have that time, I think confronting whatever issues you got together is definitely the best way in moving forward. All right, Kev, you up to your number 2 spot, man. What you got?
Number two, sometimes you gotta be the change, right?
Ooh.
Whether it involves you or you're just trying to repair something else for the betterment of others, right? You could talk about stuff all the time and say, hey, I think you guys need to do such and such, right? Something
Hmm.
silly that's going on, right? You could keep saying, I think, wish, I hope, all of that.
Oh.
Sometimes be the change, right? Like Michael Jackson says, I'm gonna make a change. Sometimes step up, be the man in the mirror, you know, be the one that starts the repair of the relationship. Force people to do it, even if they don't want to. All right,
Force them.
call them up. Maybe call someone individually first. Maybe you have the conversation. Maybe they're like, well, I'm not really against certain things. It's just, I feel a certain type of way. Be like, you know what? The other person might feel the same way. Be like, yeah, well, I might need some type of apology first. Just like I said before, do the Jodeci. Don't talk, just listen. I'm about to get you guys on a three-way call right now. I'm gonna be the change. I'm gonna make this happen today because I'm sick of, you know,
Attention.
relationships
Attention.
falling apart over things that they shouldn't, in my opinion, fall apart over, right? I've seen this happen in family, friends, countless others over my life. Be the change, make it happen, do every single thing you can think of. I was telling you guys before we started recording this that, in Coach Ray, right? He passed away unexpectedly. Also, it's the holiday times. Sometimes people pass away on people's birthdays, anniversaries, other stuff. You never want stuff to happen for somebody passing away and you being on bad terms with them if you really cared about the person. You got to be the
Oh,
change.
that's a fact.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
yeah. Um, Kevin Scott Obama. Be the
Obama.
change. Be that change, Kev. Be that change.
Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right.
I just want you to say, be that change. I can see that being your campaign slogan.
The
you,
campaign
and-
slogan.
you and your vice president Ruth
For
Ann when
all
y'all
these
run for office.
Carolinians, I'm gonna be the change here.
Be that change.
Be the change for the Carolinians.
All right. For my second one is to take responsibility for your part. Now, everybody has to realize that they could have done something a little different. They could have changed something. And I'm not saying that you were totally guilty for the whole, but you could have changed your approach or your response, or you could have just been more welcoming or whatever. But I think we have to take responsibility for your part and be slightly vulnerable. Now, that was dangerous because that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to see things eye to eye. They could reject you and be like, "Yeah, this was your
Hmm.
fault," and it could go left. But if you really want things to get better, and you think you're dealing with someone who is somewhat reasonable,
Hmm.
you got to take responsibility for your part, and then to try to move on that way. Okay,
Hmm.
we're up to our third and
Number three.
final point. Coach, you're up. What's our third point, man?
Well, my third point is basically sort of what you just said in a sense. I was going to say that when you go in, just like, so all my things sort of go together. I hate to say it, but they do. As far
They
as when
should.
I say leave it at the door or when I say confront it, My last thing is that you have to be prepared to deal with it yourself when you have the conversation. Now, what I mean by this is that you can't have that conversation when you're hot like fish grease because you're not thinking straight, right? So then the next stage you have is you still mad about it, but you ain't flaming, but it's still a raw nerve. Somebody could flick that joint, and you go have that conversation at the wrong time. And they say one thing, and then here it is, you ain't talking again for another 6 months, right? You have to be ready to accept whatever it is they're gonna throw at you. Because the truth of the matter is that just like you might be upset about something, they're upset about something too. And honestly, whether we accept it or not, we don't really have the ability to tell anybody else how they should feel, right? So you have to be open to hear what they have to say and know that they're going to say things that they might upset you or affect you some kind of way, but you still got to come back as an adult and not as someone that's upset about something, because you're never going to get to the end of it if you keep trying to play the blame game instead of listening and trying to figure out how to get past it. So
Absolutely.
my thing is be open.
Be open. All right, Kevin Scott Obama, what you got?
I gotta say this because you didn't say anything. I know other people gotta be thinking I'm not the only one. When you said might be trying to flick that, and you did those fingers, you're a nasty, freaky man. You did that like you're trying to flick a lighter or something.
Kev, Kev,
You know where from
Kev, Kev.
This is a family show, Mr. Hall.
Yeah, yeah.
A family
And
show.
once again, Kev makes the highlight reel, aka see it on Patreon because Kev
Right.
is wrong.
He went from Obama to Trump.
There it is.
Obama to Trump.
Hey, I'm not grabbing anybody down there, but hey, I'm gonna
Hey, hey,
say
hey,
for the final
hey.
thing, and this kind of ties into what you were saying also, Griff. You don't just accept responsibility, be willing to apologize, right? Just like Anita Baker, I apologize. Even if you're not wrong necessarily, everybody's got their own truth about a situation. If you're in an argument, somebody thinks you're wrong about something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apologize for it, no matter what, right? By the way, and in all seriousness, I'm gonna take this off for this. So, anyone listening, family, friends, listeners, anybody in life and I'm not even gonna say who you feel I may have done wrong, who I've done wrong to, right? For whatever reason, maybe I was immature, maybe I was just goofy that day, whatever. I, with heartfelt sincerity, apologize for whatever it is that I did to potentially destroy that day for you or whatever else, right? Um, and I mean that with all sincerity. And then I think if people are having a bad situation and it needs to be repaired, I think you need to say something very similar to what I just did.
I like that. All right, leading by example. I like
I'm
that.
about to say, yeah, yeah. Putting it on the line straight up. Look, I don't know what it was, and I'm not saying that I didn't do it, right? That's what you basically said, Kev. You said, look, I'm not sure what it could have been that I did, and I'm not saying that I didn't do something that what might have been offensive to you, but what I am telling you is I'm apologizing sincerely,
Yep.
right? And if you can't take that and we try to move forward past it, I get it, but I'm telling you, and the only way I can possibly tell you or show you, I'm telling you, looking you in the face, telling you that I apologize. And
Well,
sometimes, apology
Sometimes we
goes a
gotta know
long
what you
way.
did. But I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
But
it's
yeah,
untrue. You
yeah,
might not agree with it, but you know, somebody feels that way about it. So
yeah,
yep.
yeah.
suck it up,
Okay.
be the better person.
Hey, Kev, I wanted to make so many jokes, but you said something with so much heartfelt sincerity, I couldn't even do it. I said, man, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. So I'm rocking with you, and I appreciate you because you have been a bridge and mending fences, even when in my own personal situations, I said I wasn't going to necessarily budge. I think in a previous episode, everybody just agreed that I was kind of like the thing, kind of set in my ways, kind of stonish, kind of hard. But I do appreciate you being a little flexible, a little bit, trying to help us all be better team players. So Kev, I appreciate you, man, and I appreciate what you've been doing in the past. I appreciate you too, Coach. So I'm gonna move on, and I'm gonna get to my third point. We got to offer a path forward. Like what you can't really change the past, but what I can do is try to make changes for the future. What is this going to look like tomorrow or next year or whatever? What I can tell you is if I've done something wrong or we're not agreeing, maybe we call each other once a week. Maybe we have fellowship once a month or whatever. I mean, all those things matter and going forward because we've all had disagreements with people we care about before and we've gotten past it
Hmm.
before. You know what I mean? So it's just taking those steps and saying, "Hey man, look, we had a rough go. Let's what can we do to move past this?" And sometimes not every time you have to apologize. It's both of us taking the steps to move in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Capzini, you
I'm
agree?
with it.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, the next steps are the biggest steps after you once, kind of, you know, air out your grievances and be like, all right, I feel better now.
Yeah.
Now it's up to the next steps, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
just reestablish the relationship now, because otherwise you're just saying words and it doesn't really
Saying
mean
yeah,
that.
you're saying words to separate and never say any more words to each other again.
Yeah, and I've
Yeah.
seen that
Right.
happen
Yeah.
with family and friends
Yep.
before, and just
Yeah.
take the next step.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate the wise words from MC Search over there laying down some
Third
sincere
base.
sincerity. He gave us that Ralph Tresvant sincerity over there. I
Sensitive
appreciate
that
that.
sense. I need a man, not any man. Woman sensitive. That's what I can get.
Hey, boy,
Oh
Kev, you
man.
Kev, you keep acting right. You might get that seafood casserole. Wait, was it seafood? Was it
I'm about to
seafood
say
casserole
yeah.
that you want? Yeah, you
Imagine,
might. You
I
might get
mean,
that
Yeah.
seafood casserole, man.
Hey,
Yeah, you
seafood
might get it.
this
casserole be
joint
hitting,
in
kid.
the next couple of hours, because otherwise it might be too late. I'll just have to get it for Christmas.
Well, this has been mending the fences, man. We hope that if you have some type of beef, some type of disagreement, some kind of just not seeing eye to eye with someone that you care about, that you can make it up this holiday season and do it before it's too late. I mean, just like we said, we hate that people we care about have passed away this year.
Hmm.
Your pops passed away this year. Coach Ray passed away this year, and so many of our loved ones throughout our neighborhood. We're missing a lot of people this year. So let's not wait to make those amends, to reach out to people, to tell them that we care about them because it can be over unexpectedly or
Yep.
just out of nowhere. So we appreciate you guys. Celebrate this Thanksgiving holiday with the people that you care about, your friends, your family. My two guys right here from the Woods Finest. We love y'all. We're going to see y'all on the next episode of the Woods
No.
Finest.